Okay, so I'm inside Reveal. I'm going to start kind of bringing this all together. So this was the original Reveal project for the GNSS. So we had to create this in order to export both the GNSS and the local grid CSV files. So I'm just going to start importing all of my data into here. So first thing we're going to do, we're going to grab a .capture file that has, either X7 or X9 scan data, and we're going to render that inside Reveal. Render meaning generate the point cloud, and then we'll kind of move on from there. So I'm going to be importing a data log, and I don't have a data collector connected directly to my computer, so I'm just looking for a file. And that's a Trimble Forensics capture, also called a .capture file. So I'm going to grab, I have a couple in here because I've done this a couple different ways. So the GNSS, that just has the GNSS data. We already imported that. I'm just going to grab this georeferenced, the first data set. The incomplete one, I actually had to take into RowWorks. So I want just a referenced point cloud in here. Okay, so it's reading scans, so it's going to create its own layer for the scan data, and then it's also going to have an annotation. So yes, XYZ, that's great. You'll see this quite a bit. So basically it's saying that there's something that drops below a 0, which that's where the plane is, the Z. So we can either place the baseline at scene origin 0, 0, 0, and then we're going to be looking below a plane, like if you were looking from a profile view. I'm actually going to offset that. It's just a viewing plane, that's all it does. So it's going to bring everything above that plane. And it's reading all of the scan data. I'll probably kind of fast forward to when it renders everything. Okay, so this is just the raw georeference point cloud. We are going to eventually bring in, we have some of those exports, the E57 exports from RowWorks. But this is kind of our raw untouched scene. I'm going to be adding kind of a working area, and I have a couple of the vehicles. Let's see here. So if I wanted to, so inside the tools, and this is Reveal version 2.10 or higher, you have the scan segmentation and the classification. So I'll start with this classification, and this is an outdoor. This is similar to RowWorks, and we'll just grab everything. And this can be a kind of a lengthy process, so I'll come back when it's ready. Okay, so these are the classified regions. So I have everything else: high vegetation, buildings, and ground. Looks like, so this was, people walking and standing along with the picnic table. Oopsie. So it looks like it has this pole on everything else. So if I were to turn off everything else, then we're just going to be looking at the ground. So a little bit different algorithm, inside Reveal versus RowWorks. But if I left everything, look at. So if I said, what if I wanted to isolate this vehicle? How would I do that inside Reveal? We go to the scan, the segmentation. So you can enable a limit box. That's having you pick. And in order to kind of move this, see that that's cutting out part of the van. Go out to like 20. There, that's got the whole part of the van. And then since we can't really move the box, this limit box, we kind of have to do some things. Let's see, so, oops. I got right on the side here and I said, so it's looking for areas that you're going to keep in or keep out. So if I said, I was trying to isolate just this vehicle. You hit the space bar, and if I said I want that inside, so that's what I'm left with. There might be another portion over here where I could say, well, I want this actually. This is all stuff on the other side of the vehicle. So that area I want to keep outside. There's one little chunk in here. Outside. So if I said, okay, I want to create a segmented vehicle of that, I can create that. Creates a sand segmentation. Okay, so if I was completed with my segmentation, I might have multiple segmentations. Say I just have one in here. I'm pretty much done and ready to move on to my next step. Typically, we're importing data from Pix4D, or maybe I did some segmentation areas inside RowWorks, and I was going to import those point clouds. So we'll do that here in the next session.